Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Monday. It is Monday, the 14th day of November, 2022. I hope you had a good weekend, despite what happened with the Knicks. I hope you got a good weekend. I hope you're safe and healthy. And I hope that your family's safe and healthy and had a good weekend. And that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field and the first responder, who every day have one goal in mind: to save human lives. Blessings upon those that pick up garbage for us to keep places like streets, sidewalks, and parks clean. And those that make deliveries for our convenience. And double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to help rescue and deliver the teenagers and the children that are victims in the United States of America of child molestation and pedophilia. The victims also of human trafficking and sex slavery, of prostitution and child prostitution, of pornography and child pornography. And double curses on the perpetrators, the profiteers, and those perverts that drive this industry. Finally, blessings on the homeless. There are nearly 600,000 men, women, and children on the streets of the United States of America, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions, and blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. So there was a basketball game yesterday. And before the game, I did a live podcast, and many of you that were there will bear witness. I was concerned about this game. Why was I concerned about this game? Let me warn you, this video will probably be a little longer than most of the ones I do. I was getting people reaching out to me. What's wrong with the Knicks? What's going on? And I get it. I mean, we're Knicks fans, right? Fans short for fanatics. Okay? And so we love the New York Knicks. And you get emotional about the Knicks. Yes, it's a natural thing. I understand. But ultimately, what do we want? As Knicks fans, what do we want? We want the Knicks, again, to be a winner. That's what we want. We want the Knicks to win. The greatest sports times in the world are in New York when their teams are winning. When the Knicks are winning, when the Giants are winning, when the Jets are winning, when the Mets are winning, when the Yankees are winning, when the Rangers are winning, when the Islanders are winning, even when the Devils are winning, but especially the New York teams themselves, that's when New York is, you see the best of New York. And really, I mean, we got close in the 90s, but really it hasn't been since the late 60s, early 70s when we had the Jets, the Mets, and the Knicks winning championships, right? And then in the 70s, we started seeing the Yankees come back with Reggie Jackson, and you had the New York Islanders winning several hockey championships in a row. Those were happy times, but we haven't seen those in a while, okay? And one of the reasons, real quick, we haven't seen it in a while because we keep making the same mistakes and expecting a different result. And this is even this case with New York Knicks fans. They keep making the same mistakes and thinking that's going to solve a problem when it never solved it before. For example, how many times have we seen some superstar, even recently you've seen a lot, come into the Garden, blow it up, right? And then everybody in New York, we got to go trade for that guy. Fire everybody, trade for that guy. Look, and again, you hear that was SGA. Well, we got to, you got to get SGA. Look here. First of all, see this, let's look at this logically for a second. Okay, Knicks Nation? What makes anyone think Sam Presti's going to trade Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? Would you do that? And I've heard some people say, well, trade for SGA. And I said, well, why would Oklahoma City do that? Well, they're going to help Oklahoma City. That is why a lot of people look at Knicks fans as delusional. Stuff like that. So people think that a guy like Sam Presti, the owner of Oklahoma, the general manager, president of basketball operations of Oklahoma City, who has taken them from the bottom to the top from scratch, couple times, drafted 3 MVPs. You think he's just going to give up Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and that's it. We could just go get him. And all because somebody put out a rumor from some false organization that has been falsely putting out rumors for a while now. And people ain't recognized because you know what? You want to hear what you want to hear. That he may not be happy. See? No. What you have to do, we have to do what Oklahoma City did. Look what they did. They got Dort. They got SGA. They traded for him. They traded away their veteran stars for him. Right? They got, of course, Trey Mann. They got Pokusevski. They got Holmgren. They got Giddey. And now they got a coach that coaches defense. Though they're not there yet. But they're playing hard. They're getting better. And they came to the Garden and they beat the Knicks. Again, that's not the first time they did it. Okay? There's no shortcuts. And Thibodeau is always saying that. And if I bring up Thibodeau now, some of y'all going to go crazy because that's another thing. Once you decide you hate somebody, it's over, right? There's no rationale. It's, drop fire, Today, let's try to be rational. A little bit. Okay, Knicks, just a little rational. Just a little bit. Okay? All right. He's always saying you can't take shortcuts. And he's right. You cannot take shortcuts. There's no shortcuts. You see, just because you can go get all these players, and then we've been trying to do that for a minute now. And either guys don't want to come here, some because of the media, some because some of y'all, they don't want to come here and play. Or we don't get them. Or we get them and they pass their prime. You got to build the right way. So now, somebody say, well, what's wrong with the Knicks? Well, right now, I think it's pretty obvious they're not playing any defense. Okay? That's pretty obvious. They're not playing any defense. I think that's pretty obvious. And then some of y'all are going to, of course, you take this opportunity to crap on Thibodeau. Well, he's supposed to be a defensive coach. Okay, look. I agree. He is a defensive coach. So let's analyze what's going on instead of just reacting. Okay? So now wait. He is a defensive coach. So if Tibbs is a defensive coach, you got to look at the whole body of work of Thibodeau. He's been defensive coach all his career. And some of y'all say, well, his defense is outdated. Outdated? 2 years ago, they were the number one defense in the NBA in several categories. So how is that outdated? So what's going on? There's a couple of things that goes into building a defensive team. Yes, you need a defensive coach. Yes, you do. You need players that play defense. Yes, you do. Players willing to consistently give effort on defense. Okay? You need those things. Now, in the beginning of the season, I assumed, and I think rightly so, that the Knicks are going to be a top defensive unit. Why? Because it's Tom Thibodeau's team, right? And the thing is, I base my predictions of their record based on the defense first. See, people focus on offense. Even yesterday, I saw so many people come at me with their offense is predictable, blah, blah, blah. They scored 135 freaking points yesterday. There's no problem with offense. There's no problem. They almost got 5 guys averaging double figures. There's no problem offensively. Okay? Yes, do they forget to move the ball sometimes? Yes, they do. But they can score. That's not a problem. The problem's on the defensive end, which we did not expect. But what is the issues? Why are they not playing defense? Well, I'm going to name a couple of things. Number one, Mitchell Robinson's not playing. Mitchell Robinson, and in Tom Thibodeau's defensive schemes, from Joakim Noah on, he always relies on a rim protector. Hartenstein is not that. Sims brings it. He does. He does his best. He obviously could jump through the roof, but he's not Mitchell Robinson. He's not. Okay. Not at this stage. And he's older than Mitchell Robinson. He's not at this stage. Okay. He's not there. He's coming. He's really good backup. And Hartenstein's an excellent backup. He's not Mitchell Robinson. Okay. So that messes up Thibodeau's scheme, number one. Number two, he's got this kryptonite. You see, Superman has kryptonite. Some of y'all remember Superman? Where, back in the day, Superman, Nothing can stop Superman except somebody has some kryptonite. If somebody get kryptonite, homie's weak, right? Well, Tibbs has this kryptonite. It's Julius Randle. Okay, so yesterday, what did we see? We see R.J. Barrett on the bench. R.J. was benched. Let's just put it, he was benched yesterday. I've never seen Julius Randle get benched. Have you? I've never seen him get benched. Okay, now, every player has bad games. Everybody does. It's the NBA. I've never seen Julius Randle get benched. And yesterday, there was a play that was indicative. Now, and this is why we talk. Julius had 25 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists. The stats look tremendous. He's 3 of 6 from the 3-point line. But there's a play that is indicative of, I was like, why is it that this guy always irritates me? Yesterday, Reddish steals the ball. Reddish, we're going to talk about him. 4 steals yesterday, 26 points. He's only one of 2 players right now that the Knicks have that are literally legit two-way players. It's him and Quickly right now. That's it. But, so Reddish steals the ball. The ball goes to Hartenstein. They're in the backcourt and they're ready to run. Remember, the Knicks are trying to run this year, right? And they're trying to make a run to get back in this game. So Reddish steals the ball. It goes to Hartenstein and he starts to sprint up the court. And if they move, they got numbers. Hartenstein doesn't see Reddish and he gives the ball to Randle. And Randle immediately slows everything down. And he has his head up, but he's not really seeing the floor because Cam Reddish was open. And you could see it in Reddish's body language. It was like, dang. and then you heard it last year when Robinson said, I hate acting like I'm running on a treadmill, like I'm running up and down the floor and not seeing the ball. And yesterday, we talked about how the old Knicks used to play this game where they hit the open man or fed the hot guy, like Oklahoma City was doing with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander yesterday, feeding the hot man. Okay, Reddish was killing them. See, I told y'all before about Reddish. I said he needs time to get his wind up, to get used to playing the minutes that he's playing, and to get used to being and knowing every game he's going to get 30 minutes. He needs to get used to that. And he's a young man, 22, 23. So his wind's going to build up fast, but he needs that. He needs that time. And when his wind builds up and he's used to that and his shot starts falling, you see, when his jump shot is falling, he's almost unguardable because he's got a variety of moves to get to the hole. And some of y'all say he didn't know. It's not that he needs to get stronger. I'm not saying he doesn't, but no, that's not the issue. It's his wind. He's using everything for the defensive end, his energy. But when he starts to build up that wind so he can play the 30 minutes strong, he's going to be a problem now, because like he showed yesterday, when the J is falling and they got to come up on him, he could finish. He got some moves at the hole, baby, and he could finish. So he was finally feeling that yesterday. And you're going to see it come more and more. The more he gets them 30 minutes, the more you're going to see that. And that's it. You see the same thing with Obi Toppin if he was getting 30 minutes, but he's not. But Reddish is now, so we'll take that. You got to feed him the ball. He took 17 shots yesterday, but he should have took more. You got to feed him the ball. And Quickly also, listen, say what we want about Quickly. I'm looking at the stats, right? I'm looking at the 5-man stats for the New York Knicks. Almost every lineup that Quickly is in is positive. No matter what, almost every lineup you have him in, it's a positive lineup. The only one that's negative is him, Toppin, Rose, and Hartenstein with Reddish. That's a -7. And that's because they don't have the rebounding they need on that lineup with Hartenstein. Hartenstein's not the big rebounder. Y'all always talk about Obi. Hartenstein's not the big rebounder either. He's a hustler. He really does. He hustles. He can shoot a little bit. Yeah. And he's a great backup. Okay. But every other lineup with Quickly is positive. Okay. So Randle is very inconsistent. And as the last 2 seasons, he's not being held accountable. When he doesn't hustle, when he makes a bad pass, which he does, when he makes a bonehead play, which he does, he's not held accountable. And I think you're going to see something. Let me tell you this. You do not sit 22-year-old RJ Barrett, who always does better in the second half than he does in the first half. You do not sit him for 21 minutes straight. I don't care what. See, and one of the worst times of Thibodeau, when you want to see the worst of Thibodeau, is when he's desperate trying to find. That's why I'm saying, he's not going to make drastic moves because he don't like to make desperate moves. That's when he's at his worst. And so yesterday was an example of that. Like last year, we're down against Utah, I think it was, and he throws RJ in the game. We're down. We're not going to win the game. It's like a minute left. He throws RJ in the game. RJ tweaks his ankle because he's just thinking desperation at that point. Yesterday, he keeps Fournier in the game instead of RJ Barrett. Now, do I understand why he did it? Yes, because Thibodeau's mindset is like this. We got a crew in there that's running nice. Let's leave them, which he does sometimes. And then sometimes we've seen him with that crew running in there and he takes them out and puts in the starters when they're not the best and lose the game. But he kept this crew in there because they was trying to make a run. He was trying to get a spark. I get it. But no, RJ should have been in the game, period. End of story. Should have been in the game, no matter what. RJ, there's times he puts Randall in the game. Now, again, I understand. I'm trying to be rational here. I understand why he would put Randall in the game. You say, why would he put Randall in the game? Randall, he wants rebounding. See, when he puts Randall in there, he's thinking rebounding. He wants rebounding. And Randall does come up with tough boards at times. He does. Now, he'll throw the ball away. He'll dribble too much. Or he won't look up the court like he did again when Reddish is wide open. He'll do stuff like that. But you can't take away from the fact that he is the top dog when it comes to rebounding. He is the tough rebounder, man. And Tibbs wants rebounding with defense. The problem is, and this is another issue we have, Tibbs is having trouble finding a combination that provides him defense, rim protection, and rebounding. He's having trouble finding that. And one of the reasons is, okay, he pushed to get Jalen Brunson. He got Jalen Brunson. Can Jalen Brunson run an offense? Yes, he can. Can Jalen Brunson play defense? No, he can't. Is he as bad as other players we've had? No, he's not as bad as other players we've had that can't play defense. I mean, he's not Jose Calderon, right? He's not Jose Calderon. He's not that bad, okay? But he's bad. He gets, and what happened yesterday, I don't know if y'all saw this, but okay. Many of us knew that the Knicks were going to start with Reddish and RJ on SGA and Giddey. And that's the right move. They put RJ on SGA and they had Reddish on Giddey. That's one of the reasons they started off so well yesterday defensively. They started off okay because you need that. But what Oklahoma City did is they kept switching. They figured it out and they kept switching until you got Brunson trying to guard one of those two guys. Then they attacked. Okay? And that's what every team is going to do. Am I saying, but you can't take Brunson out the lineup? You cannot. You cannot. Okay? Why? $100 million. You push to get him. He is the point guard. Even though, and I'm Deuce High, the numbers speak better for Quickly. I'm just saying. The numbers look better for Quickly. With every team Quickly's on the court with, they do good. The longer he's on the court with a squad, the better that team operates. You may chuck. He may throw up some bad shots. He may dribble out with whatever. They're always positive with him. I'm just saying. And I'm Deuce High. Okay? So, but they're not going to do that. Realistically, Brunson's going to play. So now what? Well, you got to build around Brunson. You got to protect him. Okay? Just like Atlanta does with Trae Young. You got to protect him. So they got to really work on not allowing him to be placed into mismatches. You got to keep him off of guys like SGA and Giddey because he will get victimized. And that's what Oklahoma City was smart. They kept switching up until they got him with guys that they wanted him to guard. See, that's the chess game you got to play. You got to keep him away from guys you don't want to guard. And the team has got to be conscious of that. As good as Randall is as a rebounder, and he's a tremendous rebounder, we need that in the lineup. Him and RJ, it's not working. Okay, it's just not. Him and RJ are not working. Okay. We talked about trading Randall. We've been mentioning it for years, and some of y'all, my man Gumby's like, all Randall Hive. So I mentioned trading Randall, but you got to move one of them, and they're not going to move 22-year-old RJ Barrett. They're just not going to do that. That would be stupid. Okay, you're trying to, and this is another thing I wanted to bring up. Expectations. My expectation was that the Knicks would be a defensive unit. And because of being a defensive unit, the offense would eventually catch up. And because of playing tough defense, they would be in every game. Because defense keeps you in games. That's why defense wins championships. Because championships are won when you get key stops in playoffs. It's not won by offensive extravaganzas in the playoffs. You get key stops. You get 3 stops, 4 stops in a row. You get a stop when you need it. And that's wins championships. So if you're a rebuilding team and you start off with the defense being anchored on defense, you may not win the championship. You're going to be in every game and you're going to build from there. That was my expectation. I wasn't expecting the Knicks to win a championship. I'm expecting to win 45 games, which to me would be a tremendous accomplishment. And I'm not being swayed because they play horrible against Oklahoma City in November. Okay? Some of y'all ready to jump off bridges in November. This is November. Okay? They haven't even played 20 games yet. Can we give them a chance to play a little bit? Okay? Before we start talking about making drastic changes. So you got to wait and see how this goes. But for Randall, this has been an issue since he's come to the Knicks. He's been inconsistent. He's being paid a lot of money. He's the veteran of the team. And him and RJ Barrett just do not work together. It's now proven they're mostly negative when they play together. Okay, unless they're with her quickly, then they play better. Okay, but they're mostly negative when they play together. So eventually, I'm still thinking they're going to move Randall, and that's what I'm saying to you. When the Knicks start actually winning consistently and being a contender, Randall's not going to be on the team. I always tell you that. And somebody say, you can't win a championship window. No, I don't believe you can, but I'm not worried about them winning the championship right now. I'm worried about them developing guys like Cam Reddish. Okay. And so, but we could win. We won 40 something games with Randall before, and we could do that again. I don't know how much longer this is going to take though, because now you're getting to a critical situation in New York. Because again, that's the problem. Thibodeau has not forgotten how to coach defense, but he cannot get a combination of guys that play defense, that rebound, and that rim protect. He can't get that. He's not been able to get that. When Mitchell Robinson got hurt, he loses the rim protection. That's big for him. And between Randall and Brunson and Barrett, who are supposed to be the big three, that we really don't have a big three, but they're the guy. He can't get what he needs out of that rotation. He can't. So I don't know what they're going to do about that. Are they going to trade Julius Randle? I don't know. They're not going to trade RJ Barrett, and they're not going to trade Brunson. That's what I'm saying. The odd man out in that 3 is Randle. They're going to keep RJ. They're going to keep Brunson. So the odd man out is Randle there. I don't know what they're going to do. Are they going to make a move now? Are they going to wait until the trade deadline? They're going to go next summer? I don't know. But something would have to be done because Thibodeau, now they may wait till Mitchell Robinson gets back to see how that runs. And I think that's probably what they're going to do. They're going to see the condition of Mitchell Robinson. If he can come back, let's say in a week, they're going to just let this ride and see how it goes. I think that's what they're going to do. We're going to see how that goes. I don't know. We're going to see how that goes. But with Reddish in the starting lineup, that really adds a lot to the Knicks. I was disappointed because I felt like if you had Barrett in there yesterday with Cam, we would have had a better shot at coming back. The keeping Fournier in there was a big mistake. And so I can tell you, I'm pretty certain they're going to trade Evan Fournier. It's not who they get back that matters. They want to get this contract off their books. They probably want expiring money for him. I don't even know I don't know if they're going to attach I don't think they'll have to attach a pick, but They're going to want expiring money from him. They're going to want to put him on a playoff team that needs a shooter off the bench. He is not, almost every lineup that Fournier is involved in is negative for the Knicks. Almost every lineup that he's involved in is negative, including when he was in the starting lineup and almost every other lineup. Now, he's positive for 26 minutes when he's with Toppin, when he's on the second unit with Toppin, Quickly, Rose, Hartenstein. He's positive in that lineup. But other than that, pretty much every lineup he's in is negative. Yeah, pretty much every. And the more minutes he plays, the more negative it gets. So they're going to have to do something with Fournier. And I was telling y'all, some of y'all big D Rose fans from the Bulls, I hear you. He's really stopping Quick and Deuce from developing right now. Okay. He's not playing bad. He's playing good, and he's a playoff guy. But again, we're trying to develop our players, our young players. So Fournier and Rose, to me, would eventually have to be moved. Now, Rose, they may keep. Now, Rose is a Tibbs favorite, and Rose is on an expiring contract. He's on a $14 million expiring deal. So, they could keep him, but at the same time, it depends on how much they want to focus on development. Now, let me tell you how this is going to go. They're going to wait for Mitchell Robinson to come back. They're going to play Mitchell Robinson. If he stays healthy, they're going to see if this improves, and I think it will. If he gets hurt again, you're going to start seeing them look to blow this up. It's really on Mitchell Robinson. And when I say blow it up, I think they're going to move your veterans. I'm telling y'all, I don't think they fired Tom Thibodeau right now. And the reason I say that is because he's going to argue they didn't give him what he needs to be successful. Okay, that's going to be his argument. You're giving him a Randall, and Randall won't do everything Thibodeau wants. Okay, and Thibodeau doesn't really break on Randall. He sat RJ yesterday. Man. So, and then you saw Reddish's body language yesterday. You saw RJ's body, the two Blue Devil dudes, the two friends that are both 23 or younger, and they just signed RJ to $100 million. This is going to get interesting. So they're going to play Robinson and see if he can help with Robinson and Brunson, together with Reddish, So now you'll get Reddish used to running with the first unit. You'll get back Robinson. You'll have Brunson. And I think that's going to play pretty well. It depends on the health of Mitchell Robinson, which, I don't know. Can he play 72 games? Yes, he did it last year. So we're going to see. We're going to see what happens. So, this is how it's going to roll. And now if the bottom falls out, like I get this one person that keeps coming on my channel talking about they're going to lose 62 games. If the bottom falls out like that, yes, Thibodeau will be fired. Coaches always get fired in those scenarios. He's not going to survive that. And you'll see Johnny Bryant as the coach. Okay. And you'll see that by the All-Star break. You'll know if Thibodeau is going to survive by the All-Star break. You'll know. But I feel like if Mitchell Robinson comes back and he gets Brunson, Robinson, and Reddish together with Barrett, even with Randall, I feel like they're going to be pretty good. They'll be good. They'll be what we expected because Robinson is a key here. He brings the defense. He brings the rim protection. Thibodeau needs rim protection, defense, and rebounding. He opens up Randall's rebounding opportunities as well as RJ's because he takes up so much attention on the boards because he's one of the top offensive rebounders in basketball. So that's a real key here. But there still needs to be changes made. And I'm telling y'all, next summer is going to be very interesting. Like I said, they putting out feelers already that people are interested in Immanuel Quickley. Okay. And I told y'all, Immanuel Quickley believes he should be a starter in the NBA. And there are teams out there willing to believe him and pay him. And I told y'all, watch Houston, watch the Wizards, watch Miami, and watch San Antonio. Somebody is going to believe in him and give him the bag. Okay? That's next summer. Okay? And the Knicks cannot afford to lose point guards. But that's probably what's going to happen next summer. And then you're going to see some moves for Randall. If they didn't get rid of Fournier, he's gone. I'm 100% guaranteeing you he's gone the end of this season. If he's not gone by the All-Star break, he's gone by the end of this season. 100%. I'm 100% going on record right now, November 14th. Fournier will not be here in the summer. Okay? After the summer. No. He will not be a New York Knicks starting next season. So you're going to move Fournier. Rose would be an expired contract. I'm not sure what they're going to do with him. They're not paying him $14 million next year, but I don't know what they're going to do. But he's an expiring deal. Fournier won't be here, and then you're dealing with Randall. So I don't know what's going to happen with Fournier and Rose, but next year is a different scenario. And then quickly, what happened this weekend with the rumor that Ian Begley repeated the rumor that they were getting calls about Quickly. That's Quickly's paper people. That's agents from other teams. That's representatives putting that out there because they're letting Quickly know we want you. No, you're never going to start for the New York Knicks. If you were trying to recruit him, wouldn't you say that? They just signed Brunson. You ain't starting. You're a starter in this league. Why would you play behind Jalen Brunson? Why would you do that? You could start for us. You could have the key. And you look here. What you want? 85? 90? We'll give you that. We'll give you that. And we'll give you the keys. Okay? What you going to say? You're Emmanuel Quickly. What are you going to say? See, and some of y'all some of y'all, you wanted to trade Reddish. I never wanted to trade Cam Reddish. Never. I told y'all that if you're Cam, if I'm his representative and I can get 100 million, 80 million going and play beside LeBron James, I'm doing it. That's what I said. Some of y'all hear, this is what I'm saying, y'all hear what you want to hear. I never wanted to trade Cam Reddish, and I don't really want to trade Emmanuel Quickly, but I'm trying to tell y'all the real. Okay? These cats want to play and they want to get paid. So this year, they're going to see what happens when Mitchell Robinson comes back. And they're going to let that roll. Okay? And I believe with Reddish in the lineup, see, remember Mitchell Robinson was playing most of this year before, he was playing with Fournier. But now you're getting Reddish used to 30 minutes. Okay? And this 5-game road streak, I'm thinking you probably going to see Mitch Rob coming back in a limited role, working his way back. You know how Tibbs does it. He'll come off the bench. And that's fine. He'll play with Mobb Deep. But Reddish is going to get more minutes at 30 minutes a game as a starter. And you're going to see his win build up. And when his shot starts falling more consistently, which I believe it will, this kid is going to be a problem. Okay? Butter is going to be a problem. And I'm glad we got it. To me, I was not happy we lost yesterday, but I was happy watching Cam Reddish yesterday. When I saw him and you could see the win and the confidence building up, I was like, okay, we got something here. That's why I wasn't as going crazy as some of y'all was yesterday, because I was like, no, in my back pocket, I got Cam Reddish. I'm very happy about that, baby. I just was concerned, as I told y'all, with him staying healthy. His talent was never a question to me. I told y'all, I believe he's the most talented player on the Knicks as far as pure talent. Y'all saw it on display yesterday. I told y'all. Some of y'all say, oh, he's lazy. No, he's not lazy. He's not. He's just smooth like butter. That's all I'm telling y'all. So I'm glad we got Reddish. To me, he should be a fixture in the starting lineup. I think he will be. And now they're going to wait for Mitchell Robinson to come back. Okay. If Mitchell Robinson comes back and they start to see drastic improvement, which I believe they will, to me, the key is Robinson, Brunson, and Reddish. That's the key. Not even RJ, not even Art, not even Randall. It's those other three. Why? If Reddish keeps playing like this, Brunson's not stupid. He's going to feed Reddish the ball. Brunson has got to still now, we have to understand, he's still new to the Knicks. This is his first year really in the NBA getting the keys to the car. Okay. I'm not making an excuse for him, but I'm saying to you, he needs a little time. Okay. Some of y'all ain't willing to give him that. He does need a little time. And he needs to have Mitchell Robinson. Brunson is exposed defensively without Mitchell Robinson. He's exposed defensively. Now, if you get Mitchell Robinson there with Cam Reddish, okay, now Brunson's a high IQ player. He's going to learn he knows how to use Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson is a high IQ player, especially on defense. He knows how to call out defenses. He knows what he needs to do. Then you have Hartenstein in his natural spot coming off the bench. Then we also need Quentin Grimes. We need Quentin Grimes to come back to being Quentin Grimes, which I believe he will. He just needs time. Again, something New York is not willing to give, but he needs time. That's why I guess what I'm saying overall, brethren, is I think things are going to stay the same minus Fournier. They're going to get rid of Fournier. I believe by the All-Star break, they'll get rid of him. But certainly he will not be coming back to the Knicks next season. Eventually, D Rose will not be here because he's expiring. I don't know if they're going to trade him now or wait. And I think that depends on how well they do. See, Mitchell Robinson is important. When Mitch Rob comes back, if they start playing the way I expected them to play and the defense picks up and they look like they're going to win 40 plus games, 45 games, then you're going to keep D Rose because you want him in the playoffs. You want him coming off your bench in the playoffs. But after this season, all bets are off because he's going to be 35 and he's got an expiring deal. And you got Deuce McBride sitting there waiting for his chance. And he's going to get his chance. I'm not worried about Deuce. He's going to get his chance. Okay. And I don't know. It's a long season. You might see him this year, but he's going to get his chance. I'm not worried about Deuce McBride. So that's why, I'm not as concerned as some of y'all jumping off bridges, what the Knicks going to do, blah, blah, blah. Y'all don't get hyped because everybody want to sell, clicks and start tripping on you on these big platforms, man. Nah, just wait, because they're going to wait. I mean, like I said, Mitchell Robinson, some of y'all underestimate how important he is to the Knicks. I was trying to tell y'all, he's very important, especially defensively and what Tom Thibodeau does. So we need to have him back. Do we need to trade Randall? Yes. Will they? Eventually. I don't know when though. Eventually they're going to trade him. Okay. They cannot make that next leap with him. He just doesn't fit with RJ. He doesn't. Okay. But they're going to wait and they're not going to give him away. See, if Miami wants him, you want to give him some pick for him? Okay. They'll listen. Even Begley said that. I asked him point blank. I said, Ian, if somebody calls and is willing to offer a number one for Julius Randle with the Knicks, he said, yeah, they'll listen to that. Yes, they will. See, so if Miami's willing to do that, we'll do it. Okay. We're going to need some expiring money back. I don't know where we're going to get that from Miami, but we got to see. That's their problem. But, we'll offer a number one and they can have it. Phoenix can use it. They don't have Jay Crowder playing. There's another place that could use Julius Randle. But I think right now, they keep Julius Randle because they really need the rebounding. They really need the rebound. I'm not saying like some of y'all Obi Toppin can't rebound. It's like some of y'all said he couldn't shoot and he's the best 3-point shooter the Knicks had. But he can rebound, but he can't rebound like Julius Randle. Julius Randle's a ferocious rebounder. He really is. Okay. Bonehead plays sometimes, yes. Dribbles too much, yes. But as far as rebounding, he's a ferocious rebounder. Okay. And so you want that. Right now, especially if you can get Mitchell Robinson back. So you get Mitch Rob. Let's keep him in the lineup. Let's see how that does. I think it's going to do well with Brunson and Randall, but especially with Reddish. To me, Reddish and Mitch Rob are the key here. With Grimes, okay? Let me name 3 key players. Reddish, Grimes, and Brunson. And Mitchell Robinson. But Mitchell Robinson, Grimes, and Brunson. Mitchell Robinson, Reddish, and Grimes. I'm sorry. Mitchell Robinson, Reddish, and Grimes. Those are your 3 key pieces right here. Mitch Rob, because he brings what they need to make their defense work. Reddish, because he's Reddish, and he's got talent, and he's showing it right now on both ends of the floor. Right now, it's only Emmanuel Quickley and Cam Reddish that are playing two-way basketball. RJ's inconsistent right now, but that's common with him. But he gives effort on both sides of the ball, and he's always playing with high IQ. I like that. But we need to keep him in the lineup. But he's not a consistent two-way. Quickley is playing tremendous defense this year. Reddish has got on the floor because of his defense, and now his wind is building up, so he's playing offense. They're the only two-way players that we have right now. Okay. Randall's not playing two-way ball. Brunson is not playing two-way ball. RJ is not playing two-way ball. Toppin is a little bit. Toppin is too, but he's not getting the minutes, as we know. He's not getting the minutes. But those are really your only two-way players that you got right now. So you got to play them. So if you get Reddish with Mitch Rob, and then you got Brunson playing at a high level, that's going to help. And then you bring back Grimes. Grimes is a two-way player, but he's not healthy. Not healthy enough to play the minutes he needs to play. Every minute given to Fournier needs to be given to Quentin Grimes, and I believe it will. Eventually, every minute you see Fournier got 20 minutes yesterday. That should be 20 minutes that Quentin Grimes is playing. Okay? 20 more minutes, right? So I think when he's fully healthy, hopefully he gets fully healthy, we get that. So now you get a healthy Grimes. You get Mitch Rob back. Okay? And you're now getting Cam Reddish rounding into full-time starter shape. With a healthy Mitchell Robinson, that is going to be a good team. And I'm telling you right now, it's not going to be... Offense is not the problem. Some of y'all keep harping on the offense. No, it's not because they're Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City's good. That's why I was worried yesterday. They're a good team. They're coming. They're still young and they're coming. You know, I wish they would have drafted Keegan Murray. They couldn't have gotten Paolo because he was off the board already, right? But Keegan Murray or Jabari Smith would have been better for them, okay, to me than Holmgren. But they're going to get Holmgren back. I'm saying if they can get 20 minutes a game of high level ball next year out of Holmgren, they're going to be playoffs next year. Okay. They're going to be playoffs next year. That's why I ain't worried about y'all talking about SGA. He ain't going nowhere. Not if no, he might be frustrated now because he's in Oklahoma City and, you know, the rebuild is a rebuild and he's a young player and he's in his prime and every year is going to go by and he's not there yet, you know, where he wants to be. So he's like 24, 25. He needs to win now. But and now if I'm saying Presti, I'm talking to him, look what you got. Look what you got. You just won Madison Square Garden. Look what you got. You guys are coming along, man. And so you let Chet Holmgren come back. I'm not saying Chet Holmgren is going to be all world, but if they could get 20 minutes a game from him, they're going to be really good. They're going to be really good. And then who else they might get, I don't know. They're not going to be bad enough, I don't think, to get that Wembanyama kid, but they don't need him. They're in good shape. They really need to start trading some of these kids at the end of this year and get a vet that can come in and put them to the next move. Not necessarily a top 10 dude, but a solid dude that can get them to the next level. They're going to do this. Presti's going to do it. See, and it's not that Presti's better than the Don. The Don is in the cauldron called New York City. Presti's in the middle of nowhere in Oklahoma City. That's a big difference. Okay? That's a big difference. Okay? So, but Presti's going to make the right move. They're going to be good. So don't sleep on Oklahoma. I told y'all, don't sleep on Oklahoma City, man. They better than people think. The Knicks scored 135 points on them because they could. Because the offense is good. It's not bad offense. Okay? They need defense right now. So, we would take 20 less points a game on offense and give up 25 less points a game on defense, right? So that we could win more games. I think if you get Mitch Rob back and you add him to Brunson with Reddish, you're going to get that. And somebody better talk to Tibbs because I'm going to tell you right now, the management is not happy about sitting RJ Barrett 21 minutes. That not going to fly. Not going to fly. And so, that's why you when Grimes gets healthy, you will not see Fournier. He's going to be moved, okay? You're not going to see Fournier. And I'm not hating on Fournier, but no, you don't play Fournier above RJ Barrett. And no, you don't play him above Grimes either. No. So that's going to be a problem. So we'll see how that works out. But for now, to answer your question, they're going to wait till Mitchell Robinson come back. They're going to wait till he's healthy. And first they're going to check on him to see if he can get back healthy in a reasonable time. Let's say, I would say within the next week, I say on this road trip, he needs to come back healthy. And then that's him. You let him and Brunson and Reddish marinate. Reddish is now getting in shape, you know. And when I say again, I'm not saying he was out of shape. I'm saying out of shape to be a full-time 30-minute a game starter for Tom Thibodeau, which he's now doing. And he's playing two-way basketball. Okay. So you get that. You bring RJ in. You get rid of Fournier. You get a healthy Grimes. Then you see what happens. Now, if what I just said to you, if they do all that, which I believe they will, And if it falls through if it just, the bottom drops out of that, Tibbs will be fired. There's no doubt. You're going to get your wish. Tibbs is going to be fired by the All-Star break. If they get healthy, Mitchell Robinson, Cam Reddish is playing 30 minutes a game and he's healthy. And you get Grimes back healthy and the bottom falls out of this thing, they're going to fire Tibbs by the All-Star break. I don't think that's going to happen though. I really don't. I don't think that's going to happen. So let's see how this pans out in terms of the health of those players. And his health is very important here. Reddish has got to stay healthy. Mitch Robinson got to stay healthy. Grimes has got to get healthy. Okay. And Brunson's got to be Brunson. To me, he's got to just be the brain that I know he could be. Okay. He can't try to play like he's Tiny Archibald and lead the league in scoring and assists. He's not that guy. But if he plays within what Brunson plays, and I believe he will, to me, he's just too smart. He's going to figure this out. And when he does, they're going to be good. It's just that he needs somebody behind him. He's not a good enough defender to keep people out the paint. But if you surround him with four guys that could play in Reddish and RJ and Mitch Robin, then Julius could play defense when he wants to. So when you get four of them playing tight defense, they protect him, Brunson that is, and they'll be better. So don't panic, Knicks Nation. Don't jump off the bridge. No, we're not trading everybody right now and getting rid of everybody to go get SGA. No, we're not going to just trade the whole team and try to tank for Wembanyama or whoever. No. Stay cool. They just need to stay the course. Let's see what happens when they get the healthy squad back. And then let's go from there. Again, if the bottom falls out, Tibbs will be gone. By the All-Star break, Tibbs will be no longer the head coach. Johnny Bryant will be the head coach. But if it doesn't, Tibbs is going to be here. And I think he should. I like the continuity myself. So, and he's growing, Tibbs is, with the young players he has. Just think about it. You move off of Rose, you move off of Fournier. Now what he got left? Everybody we drafted. Okay? And he's going to run with that. So I think we'll be in good shape. Let's just wait. I'm not panicking right now. I'm just trying to make sure that we can get Mitch Rob healthy, and I want Cam to stay healthy, because the healthier he stays and the more 30-minute games he plays, you're going to see all-star level talent out of this kid. I'm really pushing for Cam. I told y'all, Butterbean, man. I was excited about watching him yesterday, man. I was going front. Yes, they played bad defense, but daggone. Every time down the floor, I was like, okay, watch Cam steal the ball. Let's get him the ball. Watch him make his move to the hole. No. Just stay cool, yo. We're going to be all right. Let's see what happens. We get Mitch Rob back. We get Grimes back. This road trip is going to be something to watch, okay? I'm glad that they're on the road, too. This is tough. They need to get their backs up against the wall. I think it'd be good for the Knicks, okay? So, let's see what happens. I'm all in still, baby. I'm not panicking yet. No, not yet. Stay cool. We'll be good. We'll talk. Enjoy your Monday. Sure.